Thank you for listening to our presentation. In this paper, we explore how implicit authentication is perceived by smartphone users. Implicit authentication, or IA, refers to a new method of identifying smartphone users by leveraging data that is available implicitly and without requiring explicit user input. Types of data that can be used for this purpose include behavioral biometrics, such as biomedical signals, and contextual data, such as location. Despite the technological promises of IA, how it is actually perceived by smartphone users is rather under study. A few existing studies suggest a strong adoption interest in the technology. However, these studies are of limited generalizability because they use low-fidelity prototypes or they are conducted in lab environments, which raises the issue of ecological validity. Our goal then was to conduct the first large-scale IA perception study that did not have these limitations with generalizability. To do so, we evaluated how a smart lock, which is the first widely deployed IA scheme available on most Android phones, is perceived by users. SL provides three different IA methods. The first one is called Body, and it uses behavioral biometrics to unlock the phone. The other two, called Place and Device, use contextual data. What we were interested in was to first understand how widely SL is adopted by Android users, and secondly, what the factors are that attract or deter potential users from adopting it. To answer our research questions, we first conducted a cognitive walkthrough with users study, which involved 2 cognitive walkthrough sessions and 16 Think Aloud Plus interview sessions. We used semantic analysis to analyze this data and form a series of preliminary hypotheses about our research questions. We then conducted an online survey on Amazon Mechanical Turk involving 343 Android user Turkers to further verify our hypotheses. To gauge SL adoption rate, we asked our survey participants whether they knew about Smart Lock and if so, whether they had any experience with it. This chart shows the number of our participants who were adopters or rejecters of each Smart Lock method, or in case they did not have any experience with that method, whether they were interested in adopting it. Based on this data, we calculated an adoption, a rejection, and an interest rate for each Smart Lock method, and then we obtained an overall average. As this table shows, the Smart Lock has quite a low adoption rate at 14% and a relatively high rejection rate at 22%. Furthermore, when compared to existing IA perception studies, the interest rate in Smart Lock is lower than expected at 44%. To understand what factors attract or deter potential users from Smart Lock, we asked our survey participants to rank, in order of importance to them, the reasons as to why they decided to adopt or reject each Smart Lock method or to show interest in adopting it. We then formed our findings into an extension of technology acceptance model, which we call SLTAM. Our model posits that the intention to use a Smart Lock is affected by 3 main factors. The first one is perceived usefulness and is affected by the unlocking speed and convenience of a Smart Lock and if it can be used as a backup unlocking method. The second factor is perceived ease of use and is affected by the reliability and setup effort of Smart Lock. And the last factor is perceived security and privacy and is affected by the actual security and privacy of Smart Lock and how easy it is for users to understand its semantics. If you have any questions about our study, please feel free to contact us using the information presented on the screen.